He's struggling himself with COVID. So hopefully a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Hopefully
Well, we waited this long. I'm not.
right. He's struggling himself with there we go. Okay. Matt.
Wake up, Frenchie.
Hi, man. How are you, sir?
Good.
Good.
Gary must be up in Ohio somewhere.
He is. He's got a new fire truck back.
That's really cool, Gary.
I guess for the closed session, we'll end the live stream on YouTube. That way, not everybody in the whole world's hearing that.
Right.
Hey guys,
Hey, Jason.
Jason?
taking me a heck of, for some reason it was not letting me log in to join.
You're in now.
Good.
Brought my video back. I don't know how I stopped from doing that.
Brought your what?
The video. I don't know if you saw me before.
No, we can see now.
Yeah, but my backdrop's not as cool as Gary's. So.
No, it's not. You need a fire truck in your barn.
Yeah. I can get the old 6514 front end. I'll have to purchase that. We'll just sell it in pieces.
20,000 is yours.
And I think I'll pass. Maybe Charlie's still got his fire truck.
Yeah. You might be able to get that real cheap.
I'm just happy he's a, what do you call it? He's not a nighttime sleeper. He's where he's awake a lot. So he could see some people or see one dude bright and early this morning.
Yeah. His sleeping habits, we got lucky with that last night.
Yeah, very lucky.
So I still didn't get a chance to call the appropriate people I needed to call over why things went the way they did.
Might be worth the call.
Charlie caught somebody trying to break in Gary to 6519 last night and broke into his personal vehicle as well too. Broken his toolbox.
Oh.
Oh.
Why can't people just leave stuff alone?
Yeah.
Would have been nice though if the police department would have arrested the guy instead of just dropping him off at Circle K.
I'm not too happy about that.
And then they turn around and run a call on him later because he went in the bathroom and went to sleep.
I would have thought they would have at least filed a report, got his name and all that, and had that on record. I don't understand it.
It's a whole different ballgame over there now.
It's something.
Is Marcy going to be in?
I'm letting her in right now. Wait, see if she can get connected to the audio. Hi, Marcy, can you hear us? There we go. You there, Marcy?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep, absolutely. Sound good.
Okay.
How are you tonight, Marcy?
Pretty great.
Good. Glad to hear.
Well, you think we're close enough?
I've got 7.
All right. All right, let's call the meeting to order at 7 o'clock. And is there any additions or deletions to the agenda?
I have none, sir.
All right. Then, do we have a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carries. Approval of the minutes of the November 18th, 2020 regular Board of Directors meeting. Have we all had a chance to look them over?
I have, and I'll make that motion to accept the minutes.
Marcy?
What is it?
You had a chance to review the minutes?
I did, yes.
Then if we're all in favor, I'll second the motion and we approve the minutes as presented. Financial report.
Sir, as of November the 30th of 2020, in our assets, the checking accounts in the general fund at Bankstar, $178,443.04. In the capital reserve at Bankstar, $519,301.02. In the health reimbursement at Bankstar, $9,999.35. Total assets of $707,743.41. No liabilities or equity. And then income for this time period was $51,284.94 with expenses of $63,028.98.
Okay. I make a motion to approve the financial report as read.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, ordinance 20-18. To pay the district's funds out of the checking account. Need a motion to pay the bills as outlined in the check registry.
I'll let Marcy make that motion this time.
Oh, okay. I will make that motion. I don't ever know my place.
And I will second it. You're doing fine.
All right, Matt, second.
Thanks.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Ordinance 20-18 is approved. Okay, fire marshal's report, please.
For the month of November, we issued 2 more building permits. Both of them for the storage building, 2 new storage buildings, excuse me, down at Hawks Nest Storage down at south of Hillsborough, about the 11,000 block of Highway 21. Fees charged were $200. Collected were $200. Yeah, Matt.
All right.
Having trouble hearing you, Gary.
Yeah, if you're
Yeah, I am too.
There you go.
marshal's report and you gave, now how about the fire chief's report?
Fire chief's report, okay. For the month of November, we again had another busy month, and we ran 97 calls for the month of November. And it was a pretty busy month. We had 2 fatality vehicle accidents that we were a part of. We obviously had that poor young girl that lost her life on a B highway at Rocky Farm.
Mm-hmm.
Days later, we had another 4-wheeler accident out off of Klondike Road where another gentleman unfortunately lost his life. And then unfortunately, just Monday night, we went down again and assisted Potosi with another double fatality structure fire that involved a lady who was in her 60s, and a 11-year-old child died in that house fire too. So it has just been an absolutely horrendous year with the deaths that we have seen running around here. So it's a shame. We're still working through some major issues with the new CAD system. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. So Marcy, you may know, and a lot of you may not know, Jefferson County 911, we've kind of talked about this, switched the way that they were dispatching equipment. We went from what's called static run card response to where you would write out run cards and choose the trucks you wanted on a specific type of alarm. They've gone closest equipment dispatching now, which is ultimately what we wanted. However, there's massive problems with their new system not doing what we need it to do at this point in time. And it's getting borderline dangerous for the taxpayers. So we are, as fire chiefs, really staying abreast of the situation and really starting to put the pressure on Jeffco 911 to get things fixed and moving in the right direction. I unfortunately am not optimistic that this new system they have is ever going to properly function. So we'll have to see where that goes moving forward. But I just wanted to let you all know, as the elected officials, about the problems that we're having. We've got a list of approximately 18 concerns / demands into the 911 center. A few chiefs have attended their board meetings to try to put some pressure on their board to get some stuff fixed. And it's a struggle right now, but we're going to stay on top of it and keep things on the forefront of making sure our taxpayers are getting the proper service that they need. But it's pretty bad at this point in time. So do you guys have any questions on that issue before I move on?
No.
Nope.
Okay. We'll try to work through it. Next, Deputy Chief Darian, Captain Mitch Nelson, and Firefighter Jacob Nikoloff headed off Monday and Tuesday to do the final inspection on the fire truck. As I suspected they were going to try to do, and I told you guys that I would never sign off on it. We had scheduled that virtual final inspection on, I think it was November 30th, I believe, was when we did that. And lo and behold, that night, that evening after the virtual final inspection, they sent me the paperwork to sign off and accept the truck. The following day, I sent a pretty, it wasn't me, but a pretty harsh email to the president of Sutphin and said, I'm not signing off on a $522,000 investment until we see the thing in person. And they agreed. And Jason, do you want to go over your trip and where we're at and timeframes and timelines and all that?
Sure. I'm sure. I know, Marcy, you, if I'm not mistaken, you don't have Facebook, but I know Matt and Gary, you've probably seen the videos and the pictures. Actually, very impressed with the truck. Once we got to see it, there was a couple of minor issues that they fixed while we were there. There was a loose screw in one of the consoles, and there's a couple bubbles in some of the lettering on the truck. They had the company there fixing that before we even left. We met with Dennis, who is the president of a company called Fire and Marine Incorporated. That was in the contract to have them mount all of our equipment on the truck. We took that all with us. He went through, drew out every compartment, and we know where it's all going. The truck should be at FMI by now. They said it would definitely be there this week. That's about 50 miles closer to home. It's in Springfield, Ohio. Unfortunately, his company is running into the same issues as everyone else. When one person on one of his crews gets COVID, the whole crew gets quarantined. So when we were looking to get it back around late December, we're now looking at the first week of January, possibly the beginning of the second week of January. He's hoping he can get some crews back now that they're changing some of the guidance with the CDC. So I'm going to keep my fingers crossed so we get it back sooner. But very impressed with the truck. It's quite a sight to see. Once you guys, once it's here, I'm sure you'll see it and see that as well. Not sure I got anything else about the truck at the moment, guys, unless you got questions.
Thank you, Jason, for doing that.
Yeah, I want to personally send my thanks to the apparatus committee and everybody involved in this. They have done an excellent job with this process. I have taken a very, very hands-off approach to this process, and Jason did a great job in making sure the project was followed through. So again, thank you guys. Moving on, this past month has been heck on earth with COVID issues for us. We'll get to that in the COVID report. We are still rolling with the hiring process for the AFG Safer Grant. Applications are due the beginning of next week, and we're going to start the whole process of going through the hiring. So things are going well with that. We've got probably somewhere between 15 and 20 applications in so far. So maybe a little less, maybe give or take a few here and there. I haven't counted here recently. So we were thankfully reimbursed from Jefferson County back in the later part of November, $19,031 for our first care. I have submitted a second and third request for reimbursement due to a lot of the quarantine issues and overtime and stuff like that we had with on top of that. And hopefully I'm expecting, if they approve everything, maybe another $9,000 worth of CARES money to come through, right? And that's just a ballpark figure right there. So I wanted to discuss get to the selling of the old truck under new business. I'm sorry. The other things under new business as well. No problem with the fleet to report. For the month of November, members completed a combined 180 hours of training. We recently have teamed with the Jefferson County Health Department to assist them with car seat installation. They are so overwhelmed that they have been unable to keep up with that. So, thanks to Jackson here at Hillsborough Fire for stepping up and helping the health department with the installation of car seats. So we'll be able to help move that program forward. We have become a distribution point for Jefferson County to hand out PPE kits too. So if you guys, your business, your family needs PPE kits, each one comes with 50 masks in them and hand sanitizer as well too. They're free and you can come take as many as you want. So Marcy, if you need anything for the daycare, let me know.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. But yeah, that's free and paid for by the county. So it's a win-win deal there for sure.
Yeah.
On to the COVID information, a couple of things, some new developments here and there as well too. Obviously, we're still operating at the red. However, there is a bit of good news. I'm going to report on that first. For the first time in probably 2 months, everybody is back at the Hillsborough Fire District.
Yay.
So finally, we're kind of to that point. I sat in another meeting with the health department this morning as well too. And while they're kind of still doom and gloom about all of this, some of the other people that were in there have seen a decrease in the amount of their employees quarantined and out with COVID as well too. So hopefully it's a trend in the right direction. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I unfortunately, I know this isn't on your list, but I received a phone call from Chief Mick Fisher this morning of the Cedar Hill Fire District. His entire command staff is positive for COVID and out. So us and other districts are kind of helping cover, if they have a major alarm and stuff like that. Me and Jason are gonna kind of head that way and help cover that out for them. In fact, we all just got back from a fire at Cedar Hill probably less than 2 hours ago. So firefighter Jake Nikoloff and Hannah Stinson have been great help to help us cover some of these, keep House 2 open. I think Jason probably thinks that I'm trying to push him away from up here at one house, but nothing to our madness. And we talked about it kind of today. We're doing our best to stay as separated as we can. We don't want both of us to get sick. That's really trying our best to keep that in the right direction. So we're continuing to use that critical staffing level of 2 or more out on quarantine. If we have more than 2, we're going to have case contacts after work. Wear a mask. But so far, we're doing okay with that. Doing good on PPE. Again, we're working with our neighboring agencies to ramp up our rollout of the part-time program by the 1st of the year. So we'll have some more on that the next board meeting as well too. Again, we're just really trying to keep the virus out of the firehouse so we can continue operations. Number 8 on the list discusses updating our operational plan to align with the new CDC guidelines. I got a little more insight into a meeting with a meeting at the health department today about that, and Jefferson County is not going to go off of the new CDC guidelines. They are, but they're not. Quarantine times are not going to change. We have too much disease in the community and not enough testing to test people out after that 7-day period. So the 14-day quarantine continues for Jefferson County. So I know that's going to be kind of a bummer deal to a lot of people. I think we're all kind of excited to be able to cut 4 or 5 days, up to almost 7 days off of that quarantine time. And it's just not going to happen, unfortunately. Point in time. So any questions for me under the Chief's report?
I don't.
All right.
All right. Communications, do we have anything?
Yes, we do. I did receive the actuary update of our retirement percentage of our payroll that we have to pay next year for loggers, and it is up from 21.6% to 22.6% of our payroll goes to loggers next year. So that has all been figured into the budget, and things are fine with that.
All right. Any discussion about that?
I don't have anything.
I don't either.
Moving on to old business, redesign project.
Again, COVID has that stalled. I have no clue when we're going to get that done, but we will get that done, I promise. So.
All right, nothing under old business further. How about new business? Tax increase.
We're going to have till the next board meeting to make the decision on whether we want to go for a tax increase in April or not, and try to continue with the original plan of keeping these 6 people as permanent fixtures here at the Hillsborough Fire Protection District moving forward. I know things are tight, times are tough for people, but I generally think people around Jefferson County are doing okay at this point. So I guess my main question to you was just to get your feelings with it. If you guys think we want to move in that direction, I will update the tax increase plan, update all the numbers, update everything with the AFG, and spend some time getting that done and be prepared with the ordinance and all that for the next board meeting. But I wanted to get your guys' thoughts and feelings on that before I put that time and effort into it.
So we have to the next meeting to decide if we're going to. Like,
That is correct, yes. We'll have to have an ordinance signed.
my thought would be maybe if we can wait till January, just to ask around, and kind of see where this is headed with the pandemic.
Okay.
But whatever Gary and Marcy think.
Well,
fine, too.
no decision needs to get made, Matt. I just want to, if you guys are a dead set no for April, I don't want to put that effort into getting that plan updated, if that makes sense to you.
Makes sense. I mean, I'm not dead set against no. It's just that I think maybe if we had one more month to, see where this is leading, and then, to kind of discuss it with, the community. I really do think there's a lot of support out there.
I agree. I agree with you, man.
How much did the last election cost us?
$4,000 and some change, Gary, if I remember correctly.
So I'm not really concerned about that at this point.
It's
At the January meeting, let's talk about it but in my opinion, start doing the things that you need to do. That way, whether we do it or not, we're prepared to whatever.
sounds good, guys.
Marcy, what do you think?
Yeah, I feel like I mean, I like both those ideas. I think we move forward with it, but I would kind of like to see what the next month brings. I think we put it out there. I mean, the worst that could happen is it doesn't go through, right? So.
Well, yeah, and don't forget as well, either, guys, we got to have an election anyhow.
Correct.
Correct. Yes.
So it's going to be paid for either way, and it's going to cost the same amount of money. I believe it's going to cost the same amount of money. I digress. I don't have a good answer for that right now. If we have two things on the ballot, I'm sorry. I would assume it would cost the same amount with the election and something else on the ballot as well too. But I won't tell you. I don't know if they're going to charge more for two things on the ballot or just, I'm not sure, but I would think it's the same personally. So I will have that done and ready for you all.
The 2020 audit.
Yes, I just received Monday. I actually called our accountant and said, where the heck's all the paperwork? I got a board meeting. I need it. And he got it to me Monday. We need the board to authorize the performance of the 2020 audit, which will take place the beginning of January. So we do it every year. This year's cost is $6,800. I do feel it's very important for the public to have this audit done on an annual basis. My recommendation to you guys is we proceed with the.
I can make that motion, Gary. Yep.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Go for it, Brian.
All righty, thank you all.
Selling of the old 6514.
Yeah, so I got a lot of, I call them quotes, but I've talked to several salesmen. A lot of times how this is working with the consignment of an old fire truck is you give them the information, they will sell it, and then take 10% on the rear end of the deal. So 10% is that going rate that I have seen across multiple vendors at this point in time. However, there are a couple of vendors that may be interested in outright buying the truck. So I guess at this point in time, what I would ask the board is to allow me to solicit some of these vendors to see if, first off, they're interested in outright buying the truck. And if they're not interested in buying the truck or come back with some low number, going with what other company around that 10% mark or cheaper, I'll have a list of quotes for you guys at the next board meeting, sure, and go ahead and list.
Fine by me.
Okay. And if I get an offer on the truck, I will not do anything until it comes before a board meeting. If it's a reasonable offer. I don't think we'll get a reasonable offer on it. I really don't. I think we'll end up having to outright.
What is your hope to get for it? What do you think the value for the Hillsborough Fire District is?
I see no reason, Gary, that we can't get 20,000 for that truck.
I agree,
I'm gonna hope for more.
for sure.
The one company that I've been dealing with back and forth, and I haven't finished the paperwork with them, they ask you what you want for the truck. I told them I want 50.
Right.
I mean, I'm not gonna come in and say, give me 20, and then they're gonna come lowball me at 10. I'm gonna shoot for the stars and hope we can meet in the middle somewhere. So if you're good with that, that's kind of how I'll handle that moving forward.
I'm good.
Okay.
I think that sounds good. Yeah.
Hey, quick question, Frenchie, though. How long does it take, once you get the new truck, how long will it take to put that in service to finally replace the old one?
So we're down to just running 3 trucks right now. 14, it is out of service and it will not be placed back in service. Once we get that truck in, obviously we'll have to do training on it with all the crews, and we'll obviously start with the paid staff because they're here, and catch the volunteers and catch them and get a hold of them. So I would like to think that once we get it, 2 to 3 weeks. I would like to think that may be a little liberal, but that's kind of my hope. Jason, am I out of the realm of possibility there, you think?
No, I think you're pretty much dead on, Chief. 5 hours of driving and an hour pumping for all the paid guys. It's going to take a little time.
Yeah, it's going to take some time. So,
That's
but
cool.
we don't want to put them out in a truck that they've never driven and say, here you go, drive 68 miles an hour to this call. We got to get them the experience behind driving that truck. So,
Sure.
But yeah, I know everybody's itching, so I don't think you're going to have any lack of people wanting to train with that. So I think
Sure.
it'll be
Any more discussion? Ordinance 2019, the deed restriction.
Yeah, we finally got everything back from the attorney with the deed restriction, as we had kind of talked about. What this deed restriction does or does not, it does not allow us to drill a well on the new firehouse property across the street due to the fact that the soil, I guess, is contaminated with fuel from the old Casey's. I don't know how it migrated that far underground, but evidently it did. I can never think of any reason we would ever need to go drinking well on that property unless the apocalypse came for some reason. And I mean, we've got city water and all that, so I don't have a problem with this. Bianca does not have a problem with this. This plan has been approved by the Missouri Department of Natural Resources, so they're on board with that. And what this will ultimately do is get them to finally release the old Casey's property, and they can do whatever they need to do with that, or just gift it to us or whatever they want to do.
Be really nice.
Yeah, it'd be nice, wouldn't it? I don't think they will moving forward. So my recommendation is that we sign ordinance 20-19, which will adopt the deed restriction, which we will file with the county clerk's office. So, or no, I'm sorry, the recorder of deeds. Excuse me. I think it's recorder.
All right, then I make a motion to adopt ordinance number 20-19. and file with the Recorder of Deeds.
I'll second that.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
I'm kind of abstaining just because I am kind of interconnected there with the property, but sounds good to me.
Understand. With a vote of 2 to 0, motion carries.
So, Madam,
And that wasn't a no vote by any means. I just feel like
It's just an abstain.
I'm going to be signing the same agreement. So
I completely understand. You need me to change the wording on this to State Farm for you and send it to you?
Well, no, he's already sent me one after I saw that we were going to probably okay it. So I have not officially technically read it, but I figured if it's good for Bianca, for us at the firehouse,
Yeah,
good with me at the State Farm office.
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
All right, is there any further discussion for the board at this moment? If not, we can close executive session.
I do have one more thing under open session.
Sure.
I should have included in the chief's report, and I apologize. And I just want to put this in the back of your minds moving forward. I don't want an answer, and I don't even think we yet need a discussion at this point in time, but we will need a discussion on this. And that is about the vaccine moving forward and our folks, the fire district stance on it and what we're going to do moving forward. I will tell you this, there is a push from all of our medical controls to make this mandatory for people in the healthcare industry, which we are. So at this point in time, a decision will have to be made as to what we're going to do about this. And I don't have an answer, and I don't know. One of medical control's biggest fears at this point in time is what liability is left on the fire district, the ambulance districts, that if our employees are not vaccinated and they spread COVID-19 to somebody else. So that's their biggest fear. And also from my understanding moving forward, it's not going to happen now or right away, but maybe a year from now, once the vast majority of the public has been vaccinated, if you don't have that little vaccination card with you, you're not going to get into hockey games, concerts, Cardinal games, potentially even the grocery store. So I did proactively ask Bianca, our attorney, to start looking into this. This is not by any means my personal opinion. I have no personal opinion. I don't know what to do or what the right thing is at this point in time. Most of you know that I work part-time for Big River Ambulance still, and I've already been told that if I'm going to keep my employment there, that I will be vaccinated. I'll be the first one here to get vaccinated, I guess. I don't know. So think about it. It's going to be a hotbed issue. It's going to be a hot topic issue moving forward. And again, I don't think I think we need to stew on it and sleep on it for a month and kind of see where the guidance goes and see where things go with this. But while we're not going to be, as the fire department, in the first round of vaccination, that's going to be healthcare workers and nursing. We will be within the top priority. So I imagine at some point in the next couple of months, our turn as the Hillsborough Fire District to figure out what we're going to do is where we're going to be. Up until yesterday, and I received that email from some of the chief medical officers across the area, I was absolutely on board with it's an individual choice. Who am I to tell somebody what to do? However, I never thought about the liability side of it for the district, and I don't have any answers with that. So that's what we have legal counsel for. So that's the end of my rant. I don't have anything else on that.
All right, so let's go into suspend the regular order of business to go to a closed executive session at 7:32.
To end